What's going on, everybody? Hope you are having a wonderful week so far. Podcast time. Tommy Farrow. I've had Tommy on pretty early on in the podcast. I can't remember what episode. And I love this dude. He's such a lovely guy. His career has gone from me knowing him as a nobody. He sent me his first track, Let's Just. I think he sent it to me 2019, end of 2019. I was playing it on my Open to Close tour in 2020 before the pandemic hit. And I loved it. It was amazing. And then that was a really big record during the pandemic. Fucking wicked record. And then his career's just kind of grown from there. And I stay pretty in touch with him. And it's just amazing to see an artist go from nothing to having a career in music and still growing, which is amazing. So I'm going to stop rambling on. He also has a new single out, which you can go check it out after you've listened to this. Anyway, without further ado, Tommy Farrow. Thomas Farrow.
Hello, Bill. Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, mate. What is going on in the spare room? There's a rifle. There is...
Wait, I haven't even looked myself because my studio is underground. It's the worst Wi-Fi ever. So I was like, right, got to pick up the iMac and everything, and just found, this is like a spare room. So
there's literally a gun in the corner.
Oh shit! It's actually a toy gun. I think. Mate, none of this is mine. So if you see anything, audience, if you see anything, not mine.
It's so good. I love it.
But yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been, I mean, the last time I was on here was over 2 years ago, wasn't it?
During COVID, I think.
Yeah. And I remember freaking out when you asked me. I was like, I think you're like my first celebrity friend. So I was just like, I was like so nervous. I remember my heart was racing, and then, as soon as I got on, I was just buzzing.
Your level of celebrity by calling me a celebrity is so low as well, because I am definitely not a celebrity.
I'd say you are. I'd say, yeah. I mean,
nah, man.
I also remember when you first FaceTimed me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out right now. I had that bright yellow hair. Do you remember when I dyed it myself in COVID?
I briefly remember.
Really, I got my mum to do it because I was like, I've always wanted to try it. And the whole thing was just like white, like yellow. And then I remember you just FaceTime me. You were like, what the hell? I know. It's gone wrong.
Because you were living at your parents then, weren't you?
Yeah. You were living in
I was in Somerset.
Bristol, Somerset, yeah.
Yeah, man. God damn. Because I initially you first sent your record to me, which was, what was the record? Oh my God.
It was Let's Just and Can't Explain.
Let's Just was the first record. And I was playing that 2020, the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, that's right. I sent it you in December or maybe, and it came out in May. So you were the first DJ to play it. I was just like, wow.
I really wanted to sign it, but the record label just was not a record label. It would have been rude for me to sign that record.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good memories, man. I think I remember sending you the stems for you to do some like mad Will Clarke techno remix.
Yeah, you did send me the stems, and I just didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, it's a shame I didn't send it to more people. I mean, it would have been good for it to be a real club techno version of Let's Just, but
it's just such an epic record anyway. It didn't need a remix. There was it just didn't need it.
Yeah, really. I think like when we last did the podcast, I think I only still had Let's Just out. It was very new. I was very I felt like a baby. Like even now looking back, it feels so long ago.
Yeah.
And I was just so naive to everything. I was just having so much fun. And
you've grown a moustache now, mate.
I know, mate. I really, basically, long story short, I'm saving myself for Easter holiday. So I've not had a haircut for over a month.
Well, when this comes out, it would have been gone. Easter. This comes out the second week in May.
I know. I thought, you know what? I'm not going out at all for the next 2 weeks. I'm just going to look a bit homeless. I don't care. And then yesterday I was like, shit, I've got the podcast and he records it. But
Mate, it's good.
Oh,
I've gone for the homeless look for the last 8 years of my life. Still rocking it.
yeah, man.
Still
But yeah,
rocking
it's
it.
great. So yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was just so naive, and it was just during lockdown. It was such a fun moment to be a producer. I thought I just
Yeah.
didn't have any care, any like overthinking. Like I was making a track a day back then,
Wicked.
and now like on average, it's like a track a bloody month. Like I just
Really?
overthink so much. No, I'd say well, sometimes I can make a track in like 2 days, but I just overthink so much now.
Mm.
Now that the clubs are open and there's just
What are you
I'm
over
starting
what are you overthinking?
just about. I think because lockdown, I was making anything
Yeah.
because the clubs weren't open. I was just like, one dad made garage, one dad made
Yeah.
breakbeat trance, and it was just having so fun with it. But now I'm like, oh, is this true to my sound? Is it like gonna pop in a club? And I just think now I've got more of a name for myself. More people, I think more people are like kind of watching me, and
Yeah.
obviously I'm overthinking it, but yeah, it was a bit easier back then.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it. I'm at like a point now I'm really liking it, but I do have some times where I just like I'd be in the studio like 3 days in a row and just come out more annoyed than I did
Yeah.
going in. Like it really ruins my mood
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm not in that right state of mind and I'm just forcing it. But no, I'm loving it at the minute. I'm having such good fun. And I do enjoy it. But like I said, I do have the times where it just puts me in a foul mood because I wasted like a whole day and I'm just like,
I get
I'm
it.
sure.
I can relate, and for me it's sorry, I'm burping like left, right, and center right now. It's not good. Um it's it's like I remember that stage, and I still can get like that sometimes. But I think for me, it's like I've learned to go through it, and you will eventually to like be like, you know what, I didn't come up with something today, but it's the next step closer to coming up with something better for tomorrow or the next day or the next day or however long it takes. And it's just that process. You just can't make something good every day. No one can.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of my tracks, pretty much most of them, is just like I guess it's just luck. I guess just
Yeah.
one thing sounds good and then one thing falls into the other. And it's like, as long as you keep trying, it's hard work meets luck. That's when you get, success, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it comes. And yeah, it's just patience. I saw a really good post from Lane 8 the other day. I don't know if you saw it. It's when he posted about his new track Woman. And it was so just like real and like true, saying just like every day he gets in the studio and he gets so like disheartened that he's just like on a 8 bar loop and he's just getting so annoyed. And because sometimes you always just think that these producers are, they always make gold every
God.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reality, like when he put down Instagram, I thought, oh, so he's got the same kind of
Mm.
issue as me sometimes.
I
It's
think it.
interesting.
I think it's also it's we live in this really weird world where we all love club music, we all love like electronic dance music, but we because we're commercializing, and I mean commercializing as a sense where we have to run a business from what we do.
Yeah.
We have to we're in the lines of we don't have to, but we're in a there's parameters where we can sit between. And
Hmm.
if we leave those parameters, it alienates everybody.
Yeah.
And
100%.
the thing is, if it's great if you can alienate people, but and still keep not great if you alienate them, but like if you can go out of those parameters and people still get it, but it's also like very fucking hard. There's not many people that can do that, and like even like the biggest guys in the world, like they all have a specific
Yeah.
sound or a through line. And I think
Yeah.
that's the tough thing is because we're constantly trying to make something new, but it also still has to sound like the last record to a certain extent.
That's it. Yeah. 100%. And that's what, like, going back to that, what I was saying earlier, it's just now I'm just thinking more tactical and is it my sound, is it good, is it a good follow-up and everything.
Yeah.
uh, but at the minute I'm writing some records for an exciting project because I brought it up to you before about self-releasing.
Yeah.
So I want to release like a self-release mixtape at the end of the year,
Sick.
and it's like I think I want like 5 tracks. I've done 3 of them, kind of finishing 2, but I've just had so much fun writing them because I feel like I'm not writing for anyone.
Yeah.
It's just for me, and I've got my own direction creatively. That's why I just said I'm having so much fun in the studio at the minute.
It's nice that.
Really enjoying it.
So what is it going to be? Is it going to be like what Frankie Wise just done?
What? Well, I mean, he did like 27, right?
Yeah.
27. Yeah. I mean, it's not that big. It's like I think it's like 5 tracks. Someone that's killed it is someone called Jasper Tigner. Have you heard of him?
Nah.
Yeah, he's like he's kind of like Ross and Friends style, and he
cool.
did it through distribute through like LG 105. I don't know if you know them. I think it's Warner. That's what I want him for. And yeah, he's just killed it on like all the Spotify like playlists and stuff. Like it just shows that you don't actually need like a big record label. Yeah, and I was talking to him and he was like, mate, honestly I recommend it so much.
So what?
So yeah, I'm just gonna,
like how did it work? How was it? So it's like you write 5 records and then just do a mixtape.
Yeah, and then so it's like 5, 6 records, and then I'll release like maybe 2 singles from it to begin with.
Yeah.
2 or 3, and then like the last stage, just have them all combined into one EP. I've seen quite a lot of people do it. It's just, I just love. I think because I've come from like quite an entrepreneurial background, like that's what I did at business and stuff. I just love my own vision and working for myself, kind of thing. So it just really entices me. And like I said, I'm in the studio and I'm just having so much fun with it because I've not got, I'm not making it for someone and it's not got to sound this certain way.
Well, I think this is the thing, because I remember like when you signed Let's Just, what was the record label? Stress.
Stress, yeah.
So you did like, and I know like you did like five singles of Stress, was it? 5 single deal?
Yeah, something like that. 5, 6, yeah.
Which like as an artist, it can be pretty like rough when you have to write 5 singles for a record label, especially at the beginning of your career where, like, no disrespect, I love Stress as a label, but like when you sign a new artist 3 to 5 singles, like it's tough, and I understand why labels do it, but you got a taste of the actual music industry very quickly, and I think that is probably actually the most valuable thing that happened so early on in your career, because you could be wanting to do that multiple times in like 5 years time, and you could get to a point where in 5 years time, you might sign a deal and have a bunch of money, but then you're like, well, fuck, I've got to release 5 singles or an album with this label, and they do fuck all.
Yeah, there's a long term you got to think about always. I mean, they did a great job with me, Stress. But there was times where I was really pulling my hair out and thinking like,
I know, you called me.
I was like, this feels like forever. Like, I mean, I was in a deal for 2 years and I didn't have a clue that I was in this deal,
Yeah.
Didn't have a signing. So yeah, it was tough, and you learn lessons, and like I said, it did a good job, but it's definitely a lesson learned that not to sign a contract without a manager for a start.
Yeah.
And just making sure it's the right label and everything. But yeah, I'm really excited for the mixtape myself. I've always wanted to do it because I remember reaching out to you last year asking for advice, because obviously you release for your label, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm just really excited. Just if it doesn't go well, then it's not like I'm stuck.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily about it doing well or not. I think it's like what are your goals? For me, like when I started the record label, I like had like a list of goals of what I wanted to achieve for every release. And from that, that's kind of how you measure your success. From that, if you don't set those goals, and you have to be realistic. Like for me is like the first year I wanted every release to hit 1 million streams, which if I looked at my streaming history was not achievable at all. And it was like a very pipe dream. And I don't know how, but we smashed it out of the park.
Yeah.
But then, and the same with the second year, it was the same. The third year, which was last year, like goals were the same, hit 1 million on each release. And we didn't do it at all. None of my records last year on my label hit 1 million.
Right.
None of my records at all hit 1 million last year. Maybe a remix. I think a remix did. Okay. And then you have to go back and reassess, and it's like this year we're reassessing and how do we work through it and what changed and all of that. But I think for me is like, if you set certain like achievable goals, you're not like setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good point, to be fair. I think the main thing with me is I just want consistency.
Yeah.
I want to really just line up the 5-6 tracks and be like, right, this is on this date, this is on this date, and just really, you know what I mean? I think that's so important in the music industry in this day and age. Just every 7-8 weeks, that's what we're trying to do at the minute.
Yeah,
getting my name in people's faces all the time.
Especially where you're at, where you like are still trying to grow something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at that stage now, and I have been ever since. Obviously, Let's Just was a hit, like it really was massive. Yeah. I think I'm at that stage in my career where I'm kind of chasing that high again. I kind of want the next thing. I think that's all I need. I just need one more to just be like, right, this is it. Like he's really spreading his wings and he's touring different countries. Like that's my dream, and it does feel like I'm chasing it a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, is it going to be the next record? Is it going to be the next record? But the thing is, it's just looking at the bigger picture and just, I always just think when I try and make myself feel better, I'm like, well, it doesn't matter as long as one record is like really impacting someone and really touches someone, and that's all that matters for me. Especially because my music's quite emotional and it travels quite far in that way. But yeah, that's how I see it, and that just calms me down a bit. It doesn't make me chase it.
It can be really stressful though when you're chasing that, and it's also like it changes the whole. I don't know about you, but for me, it changes the whole process of the studio as well when you're chasing that, and also like having like management, and they're like, we need a hit. Not that managers necessarily, or some managers do, but like they can imply it, if you know what I mean.
No, yeah, I mean, when I was with my agent, that was a bit of a. That was very like I felt a bit pressured because he was kind of saying, "Oh, you just need a big song. You need, he was like, just make bangers in this." And I was like, "Oh, it's a lot easier said than done, isn't it?"
It's such a disrespectful thing to say to somebody as well, though. It's like, and I don't think agents, and I don't think people that work. I'm massively generalizing because not everybody would say that, but like the people that do say that to an artist don't realize how demoralizing that statement is.
I remember it so well. It's just like, I think I was just saying, oh, like what's the next? That was it. I was trying to get booked for Warehouse Project again, which I did eventually, which was one of the happiest moments of my life. But I was just like, oh, is there anything I can do? Can I message someone? Can I? And he was like, just make a banger. Like, just make it. And I was just like, fucking hell, like. Yeah, I do. It really did get to me, but it's just is what it is, isn't it? It's just he's running the business at the end of the day.
Well, that's the thing is like agents, managers, anybody outside of the creative side. And don't get me wrong, like managers can be extremely creative, and so can agents. And this is not me like talking shit on them. This is just me being realistic about it. It's like they are the business side of the industry, and when it comes to business, as you know, you studied business, like. All emotions go out the window, and it's how do we fucking make money? Whereas we're like crying into our pillows because we haven't written a hit record, and that's all of our team wants. It's just like
it's pressure, man.
It's so much pressure, but it's also I don't know. Has the pressure? Let's Just was a massive record, and that was your first ever release. Like, how does that feel? Like when you're like, oh, is that? Yeah, how does that feel when you're like releasing another record?
Yeah, I mean, I do think quite a lot. Like, I wish Let's Just came out when there was no COVID. I love to think because when people get a hit record nowadays, like like you got Shaq, that song played every weekend, like everywhere. I was just thinking, like, damn, I wish that could have been me. Like, I wish that could have been me. But it's hard.
It's not you. That's not you. That record, like if you put out, and I'm like challenging that statement because it's like that record, like we're using Shaq for example, that record isn't you. You would never have released a record like that. Even if I was like, Tommy, I've got a hit record for you. It's this, and you heard it, and you were like, that's not Tommy Farrow.
True. I mean, just like the distance that it's travelled and how well it did on, you know, it was a hit, but I guess it's different. It was underground, so I probably wouldn't have got that many bookings. But yeah, I mean, it didn't really affect me. It never did. Between Two Planets was another real big song.
Yeah.
You know, Annie Mac was playing it midweek and stuff, and it's done really good streams. But I think the thing, if I could change something, I mean, I couldn't have changed it anyway. I think it just would have made so much of a difference if I was more consistent with my releases, if it was every 8 weeks. I think that would have made so. If I lined all my songs up that I've released and gone back in time and said, right, this is 8 weeks, then I think it'd be a whole different story. I think I just really just kind of I was procrastinating and I was really just kind of like taking my time and was in a bit of a not the greatest of headspaces with producing it sometimes. So yeah, it does take months at a time sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the minute. I'm just trying to, you know, get that consistency back.
Yeah, consistency is nice. It's really good. And then what will happen is one of the records will absolutely blow up, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to release a record now because
and you've got that kind of the pressure's off because you know that's doing the work for you, and you're like, okay, I can just chill a bit now.
Yeah, but in the situation with the mixtape, let's say for instance you'll release one record, the first record, and if it does really really well and it's keeping going, you don't want to ruin that with it pulling out another record. So you'll then be like, oh shit, let's hold back another 8 weeks and let it do its thing. But then you're kind of back at that square one again where you're not being consistent with releasing.
I don't think it matters if you've got a real big song and it's doing amazing. I don't think it matters too much if you're holding back. And I
don't think it matters, but
no,
it then goes back to that thing is where you're not being consistent on releasing music.
Yeah, I guess so. But I guess that's a good thing about the mixtape. I kind of got my own freedom, you know, dates and stuff and whatnot. But yeah, man, really excited. I mean, I've got a single out this Friday. You have as well, haven't you? You've got Father out finally.
Out, yeah. Well, it's out now. It's technically when this comes out, it's out already.
Oh right, yeah, true. Yeah, so is my single actually, Colours of Love. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to this release. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's trance because you don't like it, but it's very trancey. But it's like, yeah, I've been wanting to do something like this ever since I started making music because it's really inspired by love and relationships. And I'm hella like, if you go through all like my catalog, a lot of my, you know, my song titles are, you know, love inspired titles, and I'm so inspired by it. So yeah, it's called Colours of Love, and then we've got like a teaser, like a minute teaser, and I've managed to get loads of submissions of couples like being together.
That's what
and I reached out to this guy that's like real professional videos, and he was like, yeah, you can have some. And I put it together, and I'm like, man, this is what I've dreamt of doing for so long. Like, finally, I've got like my little music video, my song that matches so well. So yeah, I'm super excited for this release.
What label was it on?
Very much. It's on Armada. Yeah, so I've got 2 more singles of them, the deal. So Armada, yeah, they're doing great at the minute. They've got lots of real good releases, great team. And then yeah, I've got 1 more after that, and then hopefully the mixtape. So yeah, very looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, Armada's doing some things at the moment. It's really interesting how they're doing it. It's like release a bunch of music and let's see which one sticks and kind of just roll with it. But yeah,
they do release a lot of music. That's the only thing. A lot, like sometimes on a Friday there's like 4 or 5 releases.
Yeah,
and I'm one of them. Oh shit, it's a bit annoying, but I mean, for me, it was just a team. Like the team was so amazing. Like, you know, Ben Malone. Yeah. We got Reggie, who worked at Radio 1 for like 15 years, and it's just like family. So for me, that was the most important thing.
Yeah, they do a great job, and I think that's the thing is like you're kind of in major territory, major record label territory, to like major indie kind of. So it's like you can't be mad that they are releasing 5-10 records on one day because at the end of the day they have to pay the bills. Whereas like an indie's like if an indie's doing more than 1 release in a month, people get pissed. But it's like I get it, and what they're doing at the moment is really, really fucking amazing, to be fair.
Yeah, they're doing really good. And it's nice because they've got, you know how much I love Trance Wax. He's got a release out next week. You've had like Dennis and Pika release one with them, like Anna Fitz. Because at first, when Ben reached out, I thought, nah, I was like, I'm trying to get away from this trance bad image that I might have. And then it's just good timing because then other people are releasing with them, and
trance is cool now, mate. Trance is cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm waiting for the day you release a trance track. You know, like it's
never
coming.
Gonna happen.
Yes, it will. I love how defensive you get. Okay. I mean,
it's really funny because one of my best mates, Mika, aka Born Dirty, he thinks I like trance. Like he gives me because he hates trance on another level. I like trance. Like I like good trance, but trance is obviously fashionable right now. It's like having its moment again, and I'm happy for everybody that likes trance because they're fucking the happiest people on this planet. When you got is Calvin's record still number one?
Yeah, it's doing really well.
Yeah, like
that's why I'm so glad. Like me speaking to my manager the other day, like releasing Colours of Love. It's such good timing. Like it's probably my trance's record to date. But it's cool trance. It's like it's not too fast. It's nice chords and stuff. But it's such good timing because it's on everyone's lips. So yeah, I mean, I sent it to Danny Howard and he absolutely loved it. So I was like, yes, this is a good sign.
That's great. I wonder how long. Man. I wonder how long trance will last again this time.
I mean, I've been in the trance game for a while now. I've been doing it for like 3 years. So
so you do write trance.
Trance influence. Yeah. So so 3 years. I feel like it's I was first originally inspired by Trance Wax, so he's the actual OG here. But yeah, man, it's good. I think people just love the emotion.
Oh, that's the whole point of trance, right? It is emotive.
Yeah, I mean, Colours of Love. It's been on Above and Beyond's group therapy radio show like twice in a row.
Yeah.
And like the average age is probably about 40.
Yeah.
And the comment section is just crazy, like super fans. Like you don't get that with people my age for sure. Like it's such a relief to see like Colours of Love is so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean like the reach that they have on their radio shows is crazy.
It's crazy. Trance fans, I've always said this, trance fans are the best fans you can ever wish for because they will literally stay with you until you die. Like no word of a lie. Like I used to record DJ sets at Cream in Ibiza and for a podcast years ago.
When you had hair.
Yeah, I had hair then. I didn't have a beard. And like Paul Van Dyke, Armin van Buuren, who else? Like literally every classic trance person that was out there. And you'd look out into the crowd and it was an older crowd. They were diehard fans. Like you wouldn't get that in tech house. You wouldn't get that maybe in techno for some people, but they're not the fans what you would get in trance. Trance fans are just fucking diehards.
100%. I played a gig. Do you know Grum? He's like a Manjuna artist.
Yeah.
Played with him at Steel Yard in London back in November. And again, the average age was like 30, 40. And I had kind of a warm-up set. I think I was 12-1 actually, so it wasn't too bad. No phones. Everyone was just jumping. Like, I wasn't really playing trance. It was just melodic techno.
That's trance. Come on.
Yeah, kind of. But they were just absolutely loving it. And for me, one of my favorite things is when I do shows. I had the headline show in Liverpool a few weeks back and had a couple people, in their 40s, 50s, travel from like Manchester and stuff, just by themselves to see me. And I do reckon because they're always the ones that DM me all the time and comment on every single post. So I get them backstage and it's just like, they're such diehards, and they message me the next day like, couldn't believe it. Like, I was goosebumps from start to finish. I just felt so amazing. Like, they're just the best people.
That's what you do it for, though, right?
Yeah, and they're always like sober. So like, what the hell? It's my favorite. Easily my favorite things about the music I make. Is the crowd that it attracts, because they're always the people that comment on the YouTube clips, on your posts. the lovely DMs. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I really so love.
it takes out all of the like stress and all of the like pressure that we put on ourselves when
I was just about to say, relating back to what I was saying earlier, like they're the people that I'm like, well, if they're buzzing with the track, then that's absolutely fine. Then I've done my job, you know. They're the people that I kind of produce for. It feels great.
That's the thing, and then it kind of takes that pressure away from you, or you forget about your agent telling you to write a hit record.
Yeah,
because it's like fuck 100%. You. There's like there's literally people that will pay to see me. Yeah, it might not be 1 million people, but there's people that are paying to see you, and you as an agent, no one's paying to come and see you. So fuck yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure. How was your? I mean, you did like a big tour, didn't you? Have you finished it?
No, mate. My life just carries on touring.
Oh, it's hard for some people. Flipping horror. Yeah, because I seen you. My friend was watching you in India a few weeks ago. So
that was in February, mate. February.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like March just flew by.
Yeah, it's mad. May when this is out, and we're in April now, and it's just like this year is. When this is out, we're nearly halfway through the year.
For real?
For real. May the 9th this is coming out, I think.
Okay. That's crazy. Yeah, it's really, really crazy. I mean, I had 3 weeks off from the studio in March. It was the best thing ever.
I've never done that. Never done that long.
Well, I kind of had an excuse. I kind of, I met a lady friend.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this.
I just forgot about the world.
You've gone to the dark side of America. You've chosen an American girl over an English girl.
Mate, best thing ever. Are
you still in love?
Yeah.
Is she?
Definitely. Yeah. Sick. I mean, I booked my flights yesterday to visit her, going to LA 18 days. So
fucking hell, man. That's dedication.
I know. I mean, it was. I don't really want to tell all my private life on it. Because I was going to tell you a bit more about. I think I've actually tried it with when you're DJing in San Diego, though. Because aren't you DJing on like the 30th?
Can't say it. You're not allowed to say it. No, I'm not DJing in San Diego.
Wait, what? I thought you was.
Mate, we're not allowed to fucking say it online.
Oh.
We're not allowed. No one's allowed to know. So just ignore that bit. We didn't say any dates.
I could finally meet the hunky junky techno king Will Clarke, because we've never actually met, have we?
I know we haven't.
So that's gonna be really fun.
It'd be like little and large, mate. You're like 6'6", aren't you?
I'm 6'5", yeah. What are you again? Like 5'2" or something?
Mate, I'm 5'3". Come on, give me that extra inch.
That's so funny. You can go on my shoulders in the rave. That'd be funny.
Literally, you'll go on mine. But yes, I will think I will be in California around the same time.
Okay, good. We can finally meet. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to meet Duke Dumont out there as well. He's DJing in LA. We've got a nice collab going at the minute.
So yeah, I was at his house the other day.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was in LA for last week, but technically not last week. But yeah, like just catching up with him, which is good.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's one of the nicest, caring people I've met in industry. Like sometimes I'm like, why does he like me this much? Because he rings me like, it's been like every week, and each phone call's like 2 hours at a time.
The Duke phone calls are long. I love them.
Oh,
they're long.
They are so long. He loves to talk. He really loves to talk.
The words of wisdom from Duke Dumont. Gotta love him.
I think all I say at the whole 2 hours is just, yeah. Because I just can't speak. I'm like,
Oh, that's so good.
But yeah, he's honestly just he's been so great. And yeah, we have a really good collab together. So I'm hoping maybe when I'm out there, I could visit him, or I don't know if he's super low key about where he lives, but I could go for a coffee. I don't know.
I'm sure you'll hang out with him for sure. Will this be the first time in America?
Me?
Yeah.
No. So I went Disneyland like 3 times when I was a kid. So I've been so desperate to go back. Like, I think the last time I went was like 10. So we're talking, or maybe like 15. So we're talking a long time, 10 years or so. But I've always been to Florida. So I've never actually been to the West Side.
So you do in LA, San Diego?
Yeah. Oh, and I think Laguna Beach.
I
Maybe
was
there for a couple.
I was there a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's nice. It's very quintessential American California. Like you will see dudes with their shirts off, wear it like skateboarding. Like
That's what I want.
it's literally
I
the
mean,
movies.
yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want a real American experience. Yeah, I'm so excited, man. 82 days and counting.
Can you drive?
Yeah. I can
They
drive.
you should definitely hire a car.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a car, so
Okay,
we'll have that. Yeah.
make her drive.
So yeah, but I mean, it's annoying because I wanted to get a couple gigs out there as well, but like the whole visa thing's like, my manager said it costs like $7,000 or something crazy.
It
I'm like, can be that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it will probably cost about 5.5, 6 grand.
That's
But
crazy.
it's not really worth like don't if you don't do a show when you're not on a visa because you'll get banned for 10 years if you get caught.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's not worth it then. Okay, I'm glad I asked you that.
Yeah,
Because I was wondering if there's any ways around it, but no, it's not worth it then.
there are ways, but like not for you. Like you
Can't be
have
asked for stress.
is your real name is your artist name, right?
Yeah, Thomas.
Yeah, it's not worth it because they can Google you and they can see
Yeah.
what you do and all of that, and
Yeah.
it's just
I'd rather my first like US gigs to be like an actual tour, like an
yeah.
actual.
That's what.
I'm actually going out there to play. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Just it will happen, man. It will
Oh yeah,
definitely
I'm
happen.
certain. I'm certain. I'm really confident. I've got a good team, and
Or you could just get married and then you can work out there whenever you want.
yeah, I mean, I'd definitely live in America like 5 to 10 years. But like you've obviously known the difficulty of building an audience here and an audience there.
It's
I mean, it's
fucking
so
hard.
different. You've got to really be big, like Camelphat, to really just smash it both.
Yeah, it's
But
really, really hard. Like for me, England is just like we've got a few things coming in now. And I don't know how. Like I don't even have I fired my agent in the UK and I have more offers coming in the UK than when I did have an agent in the UK.
yeah.
It's fucking weird. But like we have agents in Europe and they're doing really good jobs. And like I'm playing in Germany more, Spain more, and Ibiza as
Nice.
well. But like it's really tough. Without sounding like a dick, to have a very solid worldwide touring, you need to have had a hit record.
Oh, 100%.
There's like
100%.
unless you're just because you can have a huge touring career and just not tour the world. You can just have certain territories. Like there's some DJs
Yeah.
that just stay in Germany and they tour a great life just in Germany. Same in America. America's very easy to. Well, I say easy. Like once you have a touring career in America, you can earn reasonably good money and you can kind of just stay in America. But that alienates you
Yeah.
from the rest of the world because the world don't the electronic music world doesn't look at America as like forerunners of the dance music scene, which is crazy to me because there's some of the best parties, some of the best festivals, some of the best scenes here. But yeah, how's your UK stuff going?
It's good, man. It's weird with my gigs. I'd have like four in one. Like I'd have 4 in 1 month, and then I'd be dry for like 4 weeks again. They always just come in one go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a Sheffield show this weekend. I always love playing my hometown, Sheffield. It's all my mates.
Yeah.
I've got a really good Nottingham one coming up. I've got London. I love London shows, man. I'm tempted to move to London soon.
Yeah.
So I played them in January with Tabasco, and I just realized how much, again, diehard fans are in London.
Yeah.
More than anywhere in the UK. Like, I went in the crowd for a bit and I felt so awesome. Like, everyone was coming up to me, like, asking for pictures, saying hello. And that's when I knew I was like, yeah, London is just way awesome for music.
It's just way more people there as well.
Yeah, it is. It was really fun. It was every time I go to London, I'm loving it more and more at the minute. It's just handy because the Armada offices are there, and it's just such a great team. And I feel like I'm just building a nice community of like producers in London.
It's really important that. It's really important.
I don't have that anywhere else really. Like, but yeah, it's just a shame it's a bit expensive, isn't it?
It's fucking expensive, but there's also a level of it. It's like it makes you put the grind on, and you're like, okay, I have to make this work if I want to live in London. There's like
that's the thing I'm worried about, because I don't want to move there and just my whole life be music. That's the only reason. That's the only thing that's stopping me at the minute. I like being up north in Manchester and Sheffield because I've got my life outside of music. You know, I've got friends that I've grown up with, and I feel like if I lived in London, I would just be around producers, and I'd feel pressured, you know, comparing myself maybe, and yeah, I don't know. That's my only worry.
I get it, but I think that slowly like changes as you get there, as you kind of grow there more, and you kind of meet new people, and yeah, when you first go there, all you know is producers and industry people. But also, like, sounds really depressing, but that is our lives. Like, majority, I've got like really close friends in the UK. None of them are in the industry. I got a really like 5 people in Detroit that are like super tight friends that aren't in the industry. But they're like everybody else I know is all through the industry. All of my other friends are all through the industry. I guess it's just like it's very easy to just like congregate with music folk because you can all relate to each other.
Yeah. But that's the only thing. Sometimes, like, I've been to London and I go to these events, like the Mix Mag Live and everything, and I just feel a bit like everyone's like just talking about themselves in a way. Like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm like,
it's weird.
Talk about something else, like cookies or something. You know what I mean?
I try.
It's just music. It's just, I don't know. It's a bit.
I try and I totally agree with you, and I think it's actually not that healthy. It's I think you have to have a balance of like other life, because when your life is fully immersed into one thing, you become boring. You become so boring, and your music becomes boring.
Yeah. I'm quite guilty of comparing myself to people.
Yeah.
As in, you know, on Instagram, someone's doing this really amazing live show in their room and stuff. I'm like, I can only play the keyboard. I just guess most of the time. And it just makes you like, oh, fuck, I should be doing this, should be doing that. And, you know, someone else's release blowing up. I'm like, oh, well, you know, what am I doing wrong? But yeah, I think everyone's kind of guilty, aren't they? I think
the whole comparison thing is definitely something that happens throughout everyone's life, not just in music, but in life.
Yeah.
But I think during COVID for me, I don't get me wrong, I still compare myself to others sometimes, but during COVID it stopped for me. Majority massively stopped, because it made me realize that like there's space for everybody. And even like, who do you compare yourself to? Let's talk about it.
What is who do I look at and think, fuck, they're doing amazing, and I need to. I'd say Tabasco.
Okay.
Like, they're killing it at the minute, and I'm like, because we kind of started at they've started way before me, but we both had the same manager, and we were kind of like equal at the time, like 2-3 years ago, and they've just like rocketed. I mean, they've produced for a lot more longer than me, but yeah, I look at them, I'm like, wow, everything's just so perfect. Like, their Instagram, they're so good at social media. They got such a great label and team, and I'm like, I'll get there eventually soon. But yeah, that's a good example.
But I also think that's the thing, is like you can compare yourself to them, but then you're not them.
Yeah,
you're not making the same music as them. You haven't been doing it as long as them.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, true.
So they have double the brain. Also, like, it's just, you could never be them, but they could also never be you.
Yeah, it's so true. It's just because they're so amazing. Like, everything they do is so awesome. But I'm inspired by it. I learn, and yeah, it's not like a bitter thing. It's like, wow, you guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's not jealousy.
Not at all. It's healthy competition. But not really competition either. It's just, it's motivation, I guess. But yeah, again, like, I think the sound in the UK at the minute, that's popping, is just that garagey kind of dancey stuff. You know, all I hear on Radio 1 is that kind of style.
It's pretty shit.
So I think it's a lot harder for like melodic or like emotional stuff to break through on like radio and especially Spotify. Like, you know, all the big playlists are just house records, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's
there's a
harder
lot.
for my.
There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense to me personally. Like, there's some fucking amazing music out there, and it's just not getting the ears to it because it's not part of a scene or it's not part of a sound.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But that is the joys of the fucking music industry, and you just got to keep going and keep doing you because there is a niche that likes
100%.
it.
Yeah, the thing I love about my music is that it just travels far and wide internationally, and I feel like it takes a bit longer, but once you're there, like you're there, and you're like a global superstar, like Camelphat, Frankie Wah, you know, all the
Yeah.
melodic artists are really they're big. They're like big
Frankie's done really well.
Mm.
He's done. It's been really interesting to see what he's done from COVID to now. It's really interesting.
It is, yeah. Great seeing all these different, you know, routes that artists take and different tactics, and you know, it's great to see.
Yeah, I think it's like the business side of the industry, right? There's some people like realistically, like it's not necessarily always about the music in a lot of these situations. It's just about how it's ran business wise, and there's some people that are extremely successful, but they haven't had that hit record that we all think is the hit record. But it's that consistency of constantly having good records out there or doing something different in the scene or whatever, and everyone just has to find their niche.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. That's it. It's having your own little sparkle. That's all you're. Yeah, that's the vibe.
What's the record label going to be called?
Oh, good question. It's going to be called The Night We Met.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. I called it. It was a night that I did back in last year, because you know it's to do with like love and romance, and
yeah,
I made a name and I thought actually I really fucking love this name. So yeah,
cool name.
I'm just going to keep it. But I'm not sure. I don't really want to shout about it being my own record label to start off with. I want it to just be more about the mixtape.
It doesn't have to be about the record label.
Yeah. But I'm actually going to call the mixtape The Night We Met as well. Okay. I want it to just really resonate with everyone.
You do the night we met Volume 1 and then Volume 2 and then just keep that going.
I'm so excited. I just feel like everything's coming together and it all just makes sense, the branding and stuff. So
have you got somebody doing the branding for you?
No, not yet. I need a new artist. But we've got time. Just making sure just the last couple of songs are finished and then it's go time. So excited for it, man.
Are you going to do it as a mix as well?
Could do. Yeah, I could do. I would like. I'm quite inspired by having like what do you call them? Are they called intervals? No.
Interludes.
You know, they're called like 30-second.
Yeah, interlude.
Like maybe. Yeah, like interlude. That's it. Yeah, just like maybe a voicemail, like a really kind of cool, you know, a little quirky things in there. So it's kind of like a little bit like an album, like the whole like Drake vibe.
You should do it, man. 100%.
But yeah, I'm excited. I just love my own creative direction, and
well, I think when you're doing something by yourself and for yourself, there's like you can't blame anyone.
It's just what I was about to say. Yeah, 100%. I've always like as a promoter throughout university, I always did everything by myself. I never had a team just because I work harder than anyone I know. Really, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna. I don't really like relying on much people because it's like you said, it's just got yourself to blame. So I just like going fully in.
Do it, man. Do it. That's wicked.
Yeah, man.
What are your plans this summer apart from loving?
Falling in love more, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what have I got? I've got a few shows here and there. I'm kind of taking it easy this summer, to be fair. I think I'm moving to Manchester around June time. So I've been in Sheffield for around 7 years now.
Yeah.
And it's a proper like university city. So people come to uni and then leave.
Yeah.
So when you go, everybody's just young and like, I mean, I saw Claire Robinson a few weeks ago and at Dr. Banana, and everyone was just like, looked about 19. Didn't work there for the music. I was like, wow, this really sucks.
Yeah.
I just think that Manchester or London just has that next age group where they're young working professionals. And
well, people stay there. That's the thing with university towns. It's like people don't stay there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I've got such a good studio in my house. We built it like underground in the basement. It's like a proper living room, all soundproofed. So that's the only thing, because moving elsewhere, it's like, well, most places in Manchester are apartments and
Yeah,
flats, and being able to play it out loud is a myth. So I don't have to pay for studio. It's going to cost way over a grand.
it's
So
gonna be
I'm just kind of
expensive.
just going with the flow and seeing what pops up.
Would you prefer Manchester or London?
Manchester first. I think it's a nice stepping stone. Like, I
Yeah,
just think I've still got all my people up here, and I've got that other side to music. And I feel like when I move to London, I want to be maybe like 2 years,
yeah.
and I'd love to move when I'm like popping.
You'll be living in San Diego. You'll be in San Diego then, mate.
No, she can come with me. She can come with me. That's the plan. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for everything.
That's cool, man. I'm
What about
happy
you?
for
Have you
you.
got any? Well, I guess you're just fucking touring all summer, probably.
Yeah, busy summer, really busy summer, which I'm fortunate for. Um,
Yeah.
just writing, finishing off some like really interesting podcast projects. Which is cool.
You write
Um,
for other people quite a bit, don't you, as well? Like ad production.
yeah, a bit. I I I've got like a couple of people that I'm writing for at the moment. Um,
Yeah. They always seem to pop as well. Like when I do look at them quite a lot of credits. I'm like, damn, this guy knows what he's doing.
I don't know how. It's just luck, mate. It's
Do
just
you feel like it's better, it's easier writing for like ad production on other
I
projects?
don't know.
And
Like, yes, because I'm less like
critique
attached
about
to
it.
it. So like, who have I like? I don't know. It's a bit salty, but like the Dead Mouse and Cascade record,
Yeah, yeah.
that was technically supposed to be a Will Clarke record.
I remember you sending it to me ages ago, the
Yeah,
original. And I was like, I've heard them vocals before. It
yeah.
was really bugging me for so long. It can,
So
yeah,
that was
it's so sick.
technically supposed to be mine, and politics got involved, and it got blocked, and it
All right.
turned out to be it was a messy thing. Um,
Really? Okay. I thought you just gave up with it and thought, fuck it,
it
there you go.
wasn't messy because of Dead Mouse and Cascade. They were great. It was just
Yeah,
somebody else that was involved on the writing
got it.
that caused it a very messy situation. And yeah,
That
it happens, and it's fucking very sad that it happens.
yeah.
But yeah, I think like when I'm working with like some other people, and it's very easy when I'm writing records that aren't Will Clarke records,
Hmm.
because I can just be like, "Do you like this? Yes or no? Just tell
Yeah.
me. I don't care if you don't like this, because it makes no difference to me. But just like, you're sat next to me in the studio, let's fucking get on with this." Um, and it's just nice, and it's really nice. I've been working with a couple of women recently, and it's really nice to just like write a bunch of records, and then their records just get signed like fucking like that, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Good
like
feeling.
they're all like record labels that are just like cool shit, and I'm like, damn, I would never be able to get on those record labels as
Yeah.
who I am as an artist. So
That's
it's
sick.
like it's really fun, and it for me it helps me to like, you know what you were saying when you had like a month off,
Yeah.
like that's my time off, is when I
Yeah.
can just write
That's nice.
for somebody else and just not have to think about my stuff. I've like
Yeah.
changed my writing since COVID. I've changed my writing like process, and
Okay.
it's like very much I book time in my calendar to write for me, and
Right.
then I book time to go and write sessions. So I go and write songs with people, with vocalists and top liners, and then I'll
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back into the studio and then finish them for myself.
Yeah.
Or I will then get booked to write for other people. And so it's like it's a lot of like to and from in, and like a lot of spending time in the studio, and
Hmm.
but it seems to really work for me.
Yeah.
Um,
See, that's one thing I do. So do you kind of have like a schedule? Because I don't at all. And
yeah,
that's my problem. I'm in the studio till like 11 at night sometimes. And then I have like the craziest night terrors because my brains are just crazy. So, and I need to start doing that for sure.
I think I used to be like that, And I used to, like, even a couple weeks ago, well, it would be maybe a month ago, Born Dirty came to England, and we did some sessions, and we were up till like 4 o'clock in the morning writing. And
Nice.
like, I don't really ever do that anymore. Like, the latest time is like 1 o'clock in the morning, but that's if I'm like on a roll. But the 4 o'clock in the morning, it felt fucking amazing. It felt so good to just be like in it and just being like,
rush,
fucking love it. Like, you start at like 10 in the morning, and then you like keep going, have dinner, like take a couple of hours off, and then go back in. It's the best feeling. Like, when you're on a roll with something, it's fucking amazing.
I know it is. But that's it. Like, time just flies, doesn't it? It's just
but also is like, you can't force that. And I'm working on something at the moment where it's like, it's been a year in the making, and it still is like, it's nearly finished, but still not finished. And then you're like, oh, cool. Like, some of these things that you've been making, people won't hear 2 years later.
100%. Yeah, that's one of the mixtape tracks is from like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
it's like, it's crazy. But because that's a good thing, because it's such a crazy track. Like, I couldn't tell you the genre of it. It's like, it's 134 BPM, and the drums are just so weird and amazing. But I wouldn't be able to get that signed because of how weird it is. But for the mixtape, it's perfect.
It's wicked though. That's the thing, is like, why do you need to get things signed when you can just do it yourself now?
I'm so excited to see the outcome of it, because if it goes well, I'm like, fuck it.
But even if it doesn't, you're putting art out that
true,
yeah. So what you want to do, which, again, it might alienate some people. Some people might be like, what the fuck is Tommy Farrow doing? But there's going to be some people that will be like, I dig this a lot, and this is exactly what I wanted.
He's got balls. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Don't know about that,
but yeah, man. Yeah, I back you 100%.
I'm like all for, like, Kyle Watson. I don't know if you know Kyle Watson. He's a DJ producer. Yeah. He's just released a record label. Rebuke's just relaunched his record label as well.
So many people are.
And I think it's just like the way it's going now. Like, gone of the days that you still need some associations to a certain extent, but like, gone of the days of where you need that like associate that like books you to play your shows. Like, people now are like being like, look at TikTok. Like, look at Stella Bossy. She's not signed to a fucking label. Like, you don't know her because of her label. You know her, and you don't necessarily know her because of her music, and that's no disrespect. It's just the way the music industry is now. Is you know her through her TikTok, and there's a massive argument for and against that. But still, like, these people don't need the gatekeepers to gatekeep them.
It's great. I like it, man. It's good. People are doing their own thing. A lot of people have their own labels now, but I feel like you do have to kind of get to a certain level for it to really pop. I don't know.
I think you need to, like, you don't have to get to a certain level. Like, you look at, like, I think it's like Tyler, is it Tyler the Creator? Like, started off with nothing, and now look, he's like the biggest artist in the world that isn't signed to a label. And you're like, fuck, it can happen. But yeah, pipe dream, right? It can happen, but it also cannot happen. So like, you could be slaving away, but that's the joys of the industry. That's why we're all a record away from having the biggest record in the world.
Hell yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Father being out to the world. Sick record, man.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that it's out, or when this is out. But it's weird. Again, that's another weird one. 2019, I wrote that.
Yeah, I remember you sending it to me and thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to play this every fucking... I played it so many like festivals, clubs. So good. I played it so many, Emotion and Wells Project. Yeah, it's wicked tune, man.
Yeah.
It's nice to technology. You've got like a total different vibe compared to Searching, I guess. This is more like your Will Clarke signature sound, isn't it?
Yeah, Searching, because
it's actually a normal kick drum in Searching.
Shermanology, that obviously they're not on this record, but that's Dorothy singing it. but like they're just the best. I love what they do, and the reason why they're not on the record is because this record is so far away from what they would do. Like they're just like, look, we can't put our name to this because it's so far away.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Sick.
Which I respect and totally get that. But
makes sense.
Searching was a really interesting record. It was like more of, I had a concept in my head to like write a record like this, like Searching, whereas Father started as like a club record, and then Dorothy, we all got on a Skype. I remember it was in this room like 2019 before way before COVID. It was like the summer of 2019. And I gave them a backing track, and they wrote to this backing track, and they sent it back to me, and I was like, this is cool, but they sent like a whole song, and I just took like the hook part of it, and rewrote it into Father. So it's like completely different record.
As well, man.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard for like a song to not be about love and for it to be really good. Because I feel like most lyrics, especially writers, that just talk about love, and with Father, it's just such good lyrics, so powerful and strong.
It's just, I think the whole love thing's just very easy because people can relate to it, right? Everyone can relate. Yeah, everyone's been heartbroken and everyone's been in love. Not, I like to hope everybody has been in love. So it's easy. It's like an easy writing conversation. For me, it's like when I'm writing songs, I want to try and be a bit more visual. And it's like, how can we visualize this? How can we write lyrics that like somebody can imagine something happening rather than feeling it?
Yeah. 100%. It's so good. I wanted to ask you, like, when you were writing Searching, like, I've never wrote a track for like an instrumental for a singer to then sing on it. Like, I've never done that. Is it hard? Is it easy? Like, because for me, I always write a track, put like a splice vocal on it, and it works. I'm like, oh, actually, I'd rather get an original. But I've never wrote a track, an instrumental from the start, because it just sounds so empty. And I just feel like, well, this is missing a lot.
It's tough because Searching was a very melodic record anyway. Like it had a lot of melody.
Yeah.
So it worked without the vocal.
Okay.
But when I'm writing records, I don't really ever write, or I used to back then, but I never do it really anymore. I don't write a record as an instrumental and then get a vocalist to sing on it. I usually write a record with a vocalist in the room, and then go away and rewrite it.
Yeah.
I find that way more easier. But I guess you have to at a certain point, because when you're not doing sessions and you don't live in London or something like that, you kind of have to get records with vocalists to a certain extent. You don't have to, but if that's what you want, you're kind of writing instrumentals and then having to do sessions on it. It's really weird, the whole sample thing as well, because you can find a sample on Splice or wherever, and you want to recreate that, but you're never going to recreate that.
Well, that's the problem me and Duke have had in our collab. We had such a good sample, but we found out Cascade already used it, and we just wanted something fresh. So we reached out to the original vocalist, and man, it was just completely opposite. We were like, all right, just same vibe, you know. Yeah, really struggled. But you think it would be quite easy to, you know, to re-sing a sample similar vibe, but it's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard, and it's really hard to like be like, copy this. It's like your agent telling you to go write a banger like this person. It's just it just doesn't work. So it's tough, but I think that is the good thing about like becoming, like working with more and more people. You learn to be able to guide them a bit better of like exactly what you want. And being honest with them. But there's so many amazing vocalists and top liners out there.
You need to send me some. I'm struggling. There is a few. There's
mate, your manager's a fucking publisher.
Yeah, man. I'm on the case. I mean, I'm signed to Sony Publishing as well, man. But I don't know. Maybe I need to just start being a bit more fierce.
I think it's just like you and in this, for me, like, people forget about me unless I'm telling them that I want
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Like, they all have somebody bigger, right?
Yeah.
Like, somebody's
so true.
always bigger than you, no matter how big you are. Even if you're
Yeah.
Calvin Harris, there's somebody bigger than you. So
Yeah.
until you're at the point where you are their main focus, you have to be your main focus for yourself to then make them your main focus.
Yeah.
Same for anything. So you have to tell them every week, I want this, I want this, I want somebody like this. Can you get this person? Can you book me in a session with here? Like, doing sessions, it can be demoralizing because it's a lot of hard work. But at the end of the day, we're in the music writing business. You have to write music to have songs.
Yeah. For sure. 100%. Definitely, dude. Sometimes I always just think, oh, am I nagging too much? But I feel like that's not really like, is that not something you're asked about? No.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, like, I want to be successful. And the fact that I'm asking somebody else to help me, like, they're going to be successful if I'm successful.
They're going to benefit as well. Yeah, for sure.
Like, everybody wins. Like, if I win in this industry, everybody else wins around me.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
like that.
Which is what it's what I do it for. Like, I don't do it just for myself. Like, I do it. My manager has a family. I want to be successful so him and his family have an amazing life. Same with my agents. Like, same with everyone around me. Like, my marketing team. I want them to be successful through me. I want to be able to pay them a shit ton of money and give them a nice life.
Nice. You are the business. That's it as an artist, isn't it? You are a business and you make people money.
Yeah, 100%. And then
feel quite cool. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, you have to look at it as a business. It's like, if you don't ask, you don't get as well.
Yeah, very true.
Pretty much.
Very true, man.
Mate, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, man.
So how can people follow you? How can people listen to your music, etc., etc.?
Yeah, Instagram, Tommy Farrow Music. Same as my Spotify, Tommy Farrow. And yeah, I think when this comes out, you say it's May or June?
Yeah, second week in May, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Colours of Love. If you've already heard it, you know what to do. And yeah, so we're actually making a proper music video for it. So I'm hyped. So
is that going to be out?
Pardon?
Is that going to be out by the time this comes out?
Yeah, like, it's coming out Friday, but I reckon it's going to be in about 3 weeks or so.
Cool,
so if you've got a lover, send me a little submission. If you got send me a little video submission. Doesn't have to be a lover, can be your pet, can be a friend.
Love that. Cool, man. Keep safe.
I saw that Instagram photo the other day.
What was that?
I saw that Instagram photo the other day. You in the vest. I was like, damn, this guy showed his skin.
I hated that photo. But
I was like, this is quite this is ballsy for my man.
Yeah, we're trying to change things up. Trying to switch it up, mate. Right,
brother.
Keep safe. Man. See you in a bit. Love you, dude. Keep safe. Bye.
See you, dude. Love you.
Big love to Tommy for coming on. Enjoy the podcast. If you did enjoy it, actually, please share. Love you forever for doing that. Keep safe. See you next time.